Hey, what's up, YouTube? How's your talks? Out here in the wood shop. You know, I always call it the wood shop. Maybe you're curious why I call it. Let me show you why. There's a farmhouse table we're working on, all natural finish. See, we have one coat of polyurethane on it. Look at the grain in that wood, though. This is why it's the wood shop. Tune in our other channel, How's You Built, to to see these kind of projects and our actually construction projects. Should be a pretty fast video tonight. Got a few notes, things I heard. Basically that's where this information comes from. I listened to several independent alternative news programs each day at different times, mostly in the middle of the night. And the things that strike me, in the morning I watch mainstream media news programs, and when they do their little clips, their little talking points that they're trying to get across, and one that struck me was the speech that Biden gave, and also all the speeches that you're seeing in the House of Representatives right now, over the I guess the new gun laws are trying to pass. And without getting too far into that, because we've kind of spoken about that the last two nights, one of the things that they're saying, and the word that they're using, I want to kind of discuss the word ordinary. By definition, ordinary is what? Sort of average, sort of nothing special, nothing to speak of. I didn't really look up the definition. I guess I could. Do I have my phone? I thought I did. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Real quick. Ordinary definition. Ordinary, with no special or distinctive features, number one. Number two, it's a noun, so what is commonplace or standard? Okay, so pretty easy. So I keep hearing this word, ordinary citizens. Excuse me. Biden on TV talking about why do ordinary citizens need assault weapons? And I hear some other House of Representatives members talking about ordinary citizens. Even Jones, he's a House member from New York, from Manhattan. Probably the second or third, the largest city in America, New York, but he's the House member for New York, representative for New York, and they probably have the third most violent / murderous city in all of America, and he's talking about packing the Supreme Court, abolishing the filibuster, so that they can ban weapons of war. Weapons of war. What a joke. Ordinary citizens, though. Let's talk about us ordinary citizens. I guess I would be an ordinary citizen. Although, if you follow my channel, I'm probably an ordinary domestic terrorist, based on the topics I choose to talk about. So if we're ordinary, what does that make Joe Biden's and Nancy Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff and even Mitch McConnell? I'm not Lindsey Graham. I don't like any of these people. I really don't. As far as I'm concerned, the Democrats, they want too much government and they want to control our lives in every way, shape, and form. Right? They want us to be beholden to them, and so that they can give us welfare and stipends and whatever they can do to keep us in check. The Republicans are the opposite. They're like, well, they want more government too because they're all skimming from the same money source, you know. Part of that $17 trillion that's imprinted. But yeah, they're all playing the game, you know. But for me, the Republicans all talk about they're conservative and the rights of people and blah blah blah. But you know what? At the end of the day, they don't do shit. They don't do anything. You know, they're not doing anything actively right now to make America a better place. They're actually just sitting in the corner crying, talking about, oh well, we don't really have any powers or control right now because it's the House, the Senate, and the executive branch are all Democrat led. Well, you know what? That's your guys' fault. You guys failed. But even when Trump was in office and they had the majority in the Senate, they didn't have the majority in the House, but they had the majority in the Senate. They still didn't do anything. You know, they all sit on their hands and cry and whine and talk about how they can't get things done. And they use those stupid words. My constituents and my very good friend from the South and blah, blah, blah. If you ever watch any of these hearings and things, like it's sickening watching them, you know. But, so if we're ordinary, what does that make them? Are they extraordinary? I think they are. I really do. I think that they're up there, they put themselves up on those pedestals. And, you know, I guess they get into it, some of them get into it for the right reasons and think that they're going to do great things and really impact. But I think once you have a little bit of power, you get like power hungry and you lust for more power. And then they get afraid of how easily they could lose the power. So they just decide to like go with the flow and not make waves, you know? And they slowly grow until they have more and more power, until you become like a Mitch McConnell or a Lindsey Graham or a Marco Rubio or any of these guys, you know? Lindsey Graham, when the shit got bad in Texas and there were power outages, my dude tried to go to Cancun. Hey, I gotta give him credit, you know? I mean, that's a flex. That's a flex if you can do it. But he got caught, you know, whatever. Hey, Biden, he's flexing right now. All we heard about when Trump was in office was how often Trump played golf. And right now, Biden's giving a run for his money for days at the beach. It might be less expensive, but who the hell's running the country, you know? But seriously though, why do these people think that they're extraordinary? Why do they think that they are, their job principally is to be there to represent the American people. We are the thing that the Constitution was written about, us, you know? Our lives, our rights, our prosperity, our economy, our health, our value system, our religions, you know what I mean? Like, we are the subject matter. We are the subject matter of the Constitution. And yet they sit there on TV and they talk to us like we are, we're ordinary. And they literally call us ordinary people. Ordinary people shouldn't have the rights to defend themselves. I just find it amazing. Like, you should hear it, and this should wake people up, make people think about it, you know? Next question. Anybody hear anything about Pelosi's husband's DUI? Or was the mainstream media news told to shut that story down? Make sure we don't talk about that anymore, right? He won't be charged with nothing. Did you see today Biden on jobs, right? Elon Musk criticized him and said he's going to lay off 10% of his workforce at Tesla because the economy is going to crash. And Biden wished him a safe trip to the moon. and then went on to say how Ford is creating 6,000 new jobs with electric vehicles. But what he failed to tell you was that indeed Ford may be creating 6,000 jobs in their electrical vehicle manufacturers. But what they failed to tell you was there's been a decline of the internal combustion engine cars because of the chip shortage and now because of this green push, that 6,000 is not a net positive jobs. If anything, it's going to be a break even for us. So, it's all the spin. It's the way that they spin it for us. The last thing I want to bring up is, I found this interesting because one of the things that they said in the House meeting about the guns was they want to make sure that there's personal liabilities on gun manufacturers. That means they want Bushmaster, who makes the affordable AR-15 platform. They want Bushmaster to be accountable for a person who's mentally ill, who is able to buy an AR-15 and shoot something up and kill a bunch of people. Those families should be able to go after Bushmaster because Bushmaster made the weapon. And you know what? That's probably true in most scenarios, in most things, right? Like, somebody makes a ceiling fan and it falls. You can go at it. If it's a faulty bracket, you can go after the manufacturer. If somebody makes a lawnmower and the engine blows up and somebody gets hurt, you can go after the manufacturer. You can pretty much go after the manufacturer for anything, if there's an accident or a problem. Unless you're talking about vaccines. Because again, of course, the vaccine program is tied in with our government and the FDA, and you can't actually sue a vaccine manufacturer. You have to go after the Vayers Court or whatever that thing is, which is just straight hypocrisy and bullshit. And yet they stand there in front of us, ordinary people, calling us ordinary to our faces, telling us that you should be able to sue the person who makes the Colt AR-15. But my mom, who had several seizures and felt really ill after her second dose of whatever, mRNA vaccine that she got, nothing she can do. And even her doctors were like, oh no, never had a seizure in her life. After the second dose, seizures, pissing herself, shitting herself, having to be taken to the hospital and spend, days in there. And even the doctor goes, just a coincidence. You know what, I gotta call it short tonight, gotta go in, the grandbabies need me. But, subscribe and like my channel, and we'll catch you tomorrow.